What's going on, guys? So today's scent of the day choice ended up sparking this video idea. It's one that I haven't covered in the past, and I felt like it might be a good idea to do. So Alexandria Fragrances, well-known clone house that does have a lot of great originals as well. So I really wanted to focus on my personal favorite clones from the house. They do have incredible originals as far as like the Hefe's line, for example. Every single one of them are good in my opinion, but I wanted to shine the light on some of my personal favorites that I think are really accurate clones of the originals and or are just fantastic smelling fragrances in their own right. So let's talk about them. Stay tuned. Starting with my scent of the day that sparked this idea in the first place, this is Alexandria Fragrances Zion. So Zion is their version of Elysium Parfum. Admittedly, not one that I wear that often, and that's what made me wear it today. Is like, you know what, I never wear this, and it's actually phenomenal for what it is. Let me spray it, get some joy out of it. And then it got me to thinking, and here we are with this video. I've only worn this maybe less than a handful of times. Have it on the top of my forearm right here. And it is a very accurate depiction. I do have the original Elysium Parfum. I do have Elysium Parfum Cologne as well. This is definitely a clone of Elysium Parfum. And it's pretty accurate in scent profile overall. The performance is kind of what and what. They're both Parfum concentrations, higher on the oil concentration side. So there's a richness and density to the fruitiness, a light sweetness. It's not just mouth-watering fresh citrus, but there's also a touch of like a sweet citrus type of smell to it because it's such a high oil concentration. But performance is great. This is one of the older bottles. They don't have these labels and these caps and everything anymore. They've gone through several presentation changes over the years, especially since I got this one. But it doesn't change the fact that if you're looking for a fantastic Elysium clone, they've always had one of the best in Zion. So get your nose on this one, grab a sample. One of the beautiful things about Alexandria is you can just get samples. You don't have to commit to different bottle sizes. You can get a decant and try it. So try this one if you're looking for a great clone of Elysium. It's Alexandria Zion. Next, this is actually my personal favorite clone that they make. I've been an advocate for this since it came out. This is kind of the standard bearer when it comes to Sauvage Elixir clones. We're talking about Sauvage Elixir from Alexandria. This is one of the newer presentations. I believe they do have another presentation as well that since this one, but this was, I believe, the first clone of Sauvage Elixir, and I've said it before, I'll say it again, from top to bottom in performance, in scent profile, from start to finish, it's about 90% or better in accuracy. They really knocked this one out the park. This is, if this was ranked, I think this would be number one. Even though it is my top 5 favorite, it's not in any particular order. But this is definitely, I think, my favorite from them as far as clones, because the accuracy is spot on. I do have Sauvage Elixir as well. I have compared it with several others. There are others that cloned it really well, even tweaked it a little bit to kind of enhance it in some ways by bringing out the lavender more, or maybe a little bit more of the sandalwood. But this one, it was all about accuracy, and they knocked it out the park. The quality is pretty much on par with what you could expect from the Dior, because it's not a Dior private blend type of quality. It's more their mid-level designer level of quality, and this kind of matches it for the most part. And like I said, it's nuclear in performance, just like Sauvage Elixir. Again, if you're looking for just the standard bearer, this is, when in doubt, you can always go with them. That's kind of why I rank it as the best Sauvage Elixir clone out there, because of the accuracy. It's just so relative to the original. It's really hard to beat. And you can get it in 2 different bottle sizes, and you can get a decant to try it, but you can get a 60 ml, you can get a 100 ml like this. And they always have coupon codes. I don't know what coupon code's active currently. I'll try to find one and put it down in the description for you guys if you're interested in checking any of these out. But in my opinion, the standard bearer for Sauvage Elixir clones at Sauvage Elixir. Now this one's going to show some age, because this is many presentations ago. They haven't looked like this in a few years, more like several years at this point, but I still think it's one of the best interpretations of Parfums de Marly Layton that I've ever smelled is Royal Equestrian. This is very old. I even, with a label maker at work years ago, put PDM Layton because that's what they're cloning. And it's only gotten better with age. As it's continued to macerate over the years, it's gotten deeper, it's gotten richer. The apple has gotten a bit more prominent here. The spices are just as dense as ever. It's got a thickness over time. Because Parfums de Marly Layton is an eau de parfum, this is an extrait de parfum, so it is a higher oil concentration. So it does wear a little heavier. It is a little bit richer. It's a little bit spicier, honestly, than the original. I've always liked this one. Again, I've tried many Parfums de Marly Layton clones. I have many. Don't get me wrong. While admittedly, the ultimate experience of this scent profile is to go with the original, I kind of look at this one as the standard bearer as well when it comes to clones. Now, I haven't smelled newer batches. I've had people come in comments because I've done an individual review on this fragrance in the past, and I've had people tell me that it doesn't perform like crazy. They've reformulated it, all this other stuff. I can't confirm nor deny. All I can do is speak on my experience with this particular bottle, and this is a nuclear performer, and it's, like I said, the accuracy is there. It's just a little bit spicier than actual Parfums de Marly Layton, which kind of plays into my wheelhouse because I love spicy fragrances. Spicy notes and fragrances, when they really stand out, it makes me happy to smell the fragrance, for lack of a better term. So again, this is one that I kind of look at as a standard bearer for cloning a particular fragrance with Parfums de Marly Layton. I think Royal Equestrian is definitely one of the best you can get. This next one is the only one in the video. I've never tried the original that it's cloning, so I can only look at it as a standalone individualistic fragrance. And it's one of the best smelling fresh fragrances, one of the best performing fresh fragrances I've ever put on my skin. This is one of the newer presentations. This is a 60 ml. This is Alexandria Fragrance's L'Immensity, which is their version of L'Immensite from Louis Vuitton. So, like I said, I've never tried the original. I've tried about a handful of clones from others for this particular scent, and it's just such a juicy bergamot and citrus. Oh, so fresh. It's got a bit of a watery feel, but it's a very mouth-watering type of citrus. It's not too sweet because of the oil concentration. Typically, you'll get a sweeter feel from the citrus fruits. And I'm not saying there isn't a little bit of a citrus sweetness here, but it's very mouth-watering. It definitely, like, my mouth is much more watery since I smelled it. But I gotta smell it again. Guys, this is a must-try from Alexandria. If the original is even close to as good as the clone, I really need to get my nose on the original because Alexandria killed this fragrance. They killed it with this fragrance. It's so good, and it's easily 10 hours on my skin, and it's a fresh citrus fragrance. Citruses are the most volatile oils in perfumery. They burn off the fastest, they last the least amount of time, regardless of oil concentration, usually. But in this case, I don't know if it's the blend, I don't know if it's the particular citrus oils that were used, or it's because the oil concentration's cranked up so much that you're getting citrus from start to finish here. This is beautiful. Citrus fragrance lovers that are just desiring longevity really should try this one. This is one of the best fragrances from the house, let alone being a clone. It's one of the best fragrances from Alexandria. This is L'Immensity. Their version, if I can get it to focus, that would be great. Oh, come on, focus for me. There we go. Their version of L'Immensite from Louis Vuitton. Last but not least, we have one more Roja Parfums fragrance. I don't own Danger Parfum. I have smelled Danger Parfum. I think it's one of the best fougères I've ever put my nose on, and one day I do plan on getting a bottle of the original, but for the time being, I'm doing okay with Danger Zone from Alexandria Fragrance. You've seen the juice levels a bit lower on that one versus Zion. I've worn this one a decent amount of times. I did a video review on this and King Tut, their version of Enigma Parfum. Both accurate. They killed it with some of these Roja Parfums fragrances. Fresh citrus fruits, herbaceous greens, a nice dense wood feel. There's a little bit of tonka bean here if I remember correctly, but it's more about the herbaceousness of the greenery. There's a bit of a sexiness to this scent profile for being refined and masculine. It's got a bit of a sex appeal to it. There's elegance here. It kind of checks a lot of boxes, and they really nailed the scent profile. While I do have Danger Parfum Cologne, the lighter version, like I said, I have tried it. I was lucky enough to sample it in a blind smell and rate Roja Parfums video with Andrea on Justin's channel quite a while back. That was the first time I was able to try it. I love it. It's one of the highest ratings I've ever given to a fragrance, which is a 9.5 out of 10, which for me is a 10. And this is, I would say, every bit of 90 to 95% accurate to the scent profile. The performance is lights out, as you would expect. Again, this is an older presentation like Zion. This is around that same era from about a year and a half, 2 years ago, before they started to change into stuff like this. But I gotta say, if you're looking for just a fantastic version of Roja Parfum's Danger Parfum, not Parfum Cologne, but Danger Parfum, the original, the dense fragrance, the most expensive one, I guess you could say, for a fraction of the price, you can get a similar experience, not the same experience. I always preach, if you want the real deal experience of said fragrance, you need to get your nose on said fragrance. Here you can have a close experience. Not one-to-one, because the quality is different. But the scent profile, pretty damn accurate. Danger Zone from Alexandria, their version of Danger Parfum from Roja Parfums. Well, that's my 5 favorite clones from Alexandria fragrances. Until next time, do me a real quick favor, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. So I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. Now, obviously, I have many more fragrances from them. I have the entire Hefe's line, including an old bottle of 1984, a new bottle of 1984, a pure oil concentration of Hefe's Gold. I mean, I've got a bunch of cool stuff from them. Some of their layered fragrances, like Dark Temptation, that's super good. From the other house, which I haven't checked them in a long time. I don't even know if that still exists. But they have a lot of really good stuff. I have several other really good clones from them. This is just my personal 5 favorites. Let me know down in the comments, what are some of your favorite clones from Alexandria fragrances? I'd love to read it. And until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on any of the 5 that are my favorites and you give them a spray now, pretty confident you'll thank me later. Have a good one, guys.